Hello there. I had a problem with the last recording, so I'm not gonna redo it. I'm just gonna start from where I am at. And right now I am trying to replicate this thing, which is part of a party tent. It is what holds the corner. Every corner has one of these, and then in the top, in the middle, where the corner, like these, where they go up and meet, they have a middle thing, and that thing isn't broken yet, so I'm not gonna touch that. But what I'm looking at when I make this, it is, okay, it's cylinders. It's 4 cylinders in different angles, and in this program, 3D Builder, it's Windows' own program where you can build things. I have built a couple of different things in here. And then, yeah, so it's a 3D printing program thingy. But what I want to get to is, how do I do it? How do I think? What do I think of when I do these things? This one has been weathered. It has been through snow, through sun, through all the autumns and spring. So the plastic here has gone very fragile. Like here, if I just bend a little bit, this will fall off. So the plastic here isn't very happy with me, and I do understand it, and I understand why. There are some things in here that I'm a little bit intrigued about, that I think, maybe I should put that in as well. But I think just starting with the shapes and understanding what it is that I'm actually making, and maybe see if I can help the structural integrity better, and also, of course, take it in the winter so it doesn't get weathered. Basically, we have more things at home that needs that princess treatment, if you know what I mean. Okay, so what I looked at first, there are inches and there are centimeters. I am not very well versed in the inch department. Also, you don't really need too many measurements to make this. For example, you do not need to know like the circumference of anything. You only need to know the length of things and have a little bit of logical thinking backwards. So I'm going to explain what I mean. Here on the screen we have a cylinder. When I'm done with the sizing and the angles and everything, there is a way to make things hollow. When I make them hollow, that means there are going to be a border. It doesn't build up outside, but it retract. Is that the word, retract? It takes away what is inside of a decided border, basically. So this cylinder is 31 millimeters, which means 1 centimeter plus 1 millimeter. And I'm going to show you here. Here is 3 centimeters are here. I hope you can, okay, put that here where my nail is. And I felt it was getting a little bit further out. I know this is broken and also gives a little bit of width, but I'd rather have something that is a little bit thicker that I can do something about than not have that. I extra. I don't know. Anyway, so now the width and depth of this, the X and Y measurements, are 31 millimeters. So in inches, what would that be? I don't know. Inches, this one is so old, so I can't show you properly, but from the 1 inch mark there down to a little bit more than 1 inch and what I would say 4 spaces, if that's like 4/8, or if it's 4/16 parts. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. And then I also look for angles. So for example, this, you can see that this is outwardly more than 90 degrees. Here we have one angle. This part, this and upwards, that is 90 degrees. We also have the angle between this part and this part. So the parts that are 90 are also 90 with the part that sits down to the ground. Oh my god. Come on, computer. Lollipops. Come on. Really? Okay. Yeah. So, and I measured what and you can also see there's a curved part here. So when I measured this to 7 centimeters, which is 70 millimeters, you can see where the 0 sits, and that also gives me a little bit extra to work with when I round it out. Yes, so yeah, so I measured that, and you can see right now in the program, this is underneath the workboard basically, and this is above the workboard. So now I need to change the positioning upwards. And there are arrows, and you can also just like move them. You can move them with arrows, or you can shift them with the X, Y, and Z placements. But you have to be careful with when you do what. Also, for example, if I now want this whole thing to be above the workstation, this part is right now underneath. So I actually have to heighten it a little bit more later on to make sure that the whole piece is in the picture. Yeah, so what I need now is to make 2 other equally large cylinders, which sits in 90-degree angles to this one. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I'm actually going to change the color. Every time you move something and you want it to move back to the original space, you just take the X and Y and you put 0 on them, and they will go back to their original positioning. And that's a good thing to know, because I am going to move them out of the way when I work on something else, especially if I change the I completely dropped the thread. Over here you can see what part of the project you're working on. You will always get, you can get different colors for different shapes, but you can also choose different colors. So for example, cube is green always, cylinder is blue always, Pyramid is, can't see. I will have to delete those. Okay, so pyramids are yellow and so forth. Red, is that red? No, it's also green. Oh, interesting. Anyhow, but you can paint your objects. So I'm going to put a cylinder and I'm going to paint it, and I'm giving it color, not texture. I'm choosing, for example, I will choose red, and now I have colored it red, pointing to where I want the color to be. And then I put the check box, like it's not a box, but it's a check mark. So now, what do I need this thing to do? I need it to rotate 90 degrees. And either I use the arrows like this, but that can be hard to actually make it go exactly the angle you want. But if you don't know the angle and you can kind of see that it is the right angle, then that's fun too. But like, I will probably have to do that with this part. But right now I do know that it is 90 degrees, so I will put that in. I will say 90. Actually, I will say minus 90, because depending on which way you go, it's either a plus or minus. It doesn't really matter, and especially right now, it does not matter. But I will do a 90. You just see it shifted a little bit. Right now, it lays down, just upwards. And this can actually make it a little bit tricky when it comes to sizing it. But a good thing with this is when I take the sizing tool and I switch between X, Y, and Z, you can see that the arrows are changing colors. So, for example, I want to know how long does it need to be. So I change to Z, because right now Z is the length or the depth, or I would say length. It depends on, what you're looking at from what angle. But I would say that the length I need to measure. Let's see. And I'm going to measure to the back of this side, just as I measured to the bottom of this side. So I get the whole spacing. And it is approx 3 inches. And it is about 7.5, but I will put 8. Will I? Yup. Because when I put it to the side and I see there, and I see where this part hits, that hits at around 8. So I will put 8, which is 80 in this measurement thing. Okay, so the height and width is the other measurements. So I'm going to make an oval now, which is going to make it squished a little bit, but then I take the other measurement and it will be round again. So this is wider than this part. The going, and it's fun because this is probably how I'm gonna print it, but this is how it's gonna look when it's done. So that's why it's weird with ups and downs and so forth and so on. Here we have, and you take from the outer part to the outer part. And so it is 2 centimeters and 4 millimeters. So 2, 4, which means 24. 24. And you can see that it is squished like that, a little oval. It's not used to being treated like that. 24. And you can also see it rose from the ground. That is kind of funny. So if I scroll out and I take the placement and push it downwards, it has a little bit of a, it settles itself, oh my god, you can see that, sorry. It settles itself down. It can see approximately where you want it to sit. So, yeah, apparently it did not this time, so that's interesting. There we go. Now you can see that. And what do I need? I do need this to be a copy of itself. So it is what it is, Control ZV. But this one needs to be 90 degrees to the other side. And I can use the arrows. For example, this one was really helpful. The placement, I'm using the arrows, making sure that they meet at 0. This one also meets at 0. That doesn't look right, is it? That looks weird. That is not what it's supposed to look like. Okay, check placement again. Why is that? If I try that to be 0, oh yeah. That looks more like it. So they meet in the thickest part of like that. You can see up close. They're in each other's middles. And right there is also where I want the big one to be. So I put that one. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So I will put this measurement at 0, or placement at 0. So this is what it looks like right now. And you can see how it resembles, how these resemble each other. So now I know that when I make this hollow, the correct measurement here, the correct measurement here. So what's the tricky part? Not only is this angle a bit wicked, this is also a little bit slanted. And there is extra things like these holes. I'll put them in. And also these strengtheners. But I will put them in soon. It will probably be more filled. Maybe I also need to make this hollow before I put the extra in. Because when I put these in and I put hollow, they will probably oxize Swedish for also become hollow. So it is tricky. You have to think a few steps extra. And you also don't want this part to be loose and make it like squish around. But I don't know if that's a problem yet. So, and this is the first attempt of this, so we'll see. I don't know if you could hear that. Okay, so I will make a cylinder. I will actually make these. I will mark all of them. There is a thing where you can mark all of them, and I will group them. They are a group. So now when I move them, they will not change positioning towards each other. They are also, if I size them now, they will probably, I haven't tried that exact thing in this type of program, this specific program, I would say, because I have another program for another sort of a Cricut, and it works very much like a 3D printer. Instead, it uses flat materials and it cuts out and it paints things on, but it works extremely similar to a 3D printer. So, and when I do that in that program, that would mean that everything resizes with each other because it's grouped. Yeah, so now I'm going to put in a cylinder, yay! And I will do the height thing before I try to do any angle. And I'll research if there is a way that I can without, because I don't think I have one of those. In Swedish we say gradskiva, which is directly translated into degree disc. Like grade disc. Is that's it sounds weird, but I think that's almost the correct term. So yeah, measuring, that's the thing. I like measuring. And we will go down to, with the other parts, I went down to where I could see the other, for example, here. You can also see that this actually has been like a sphere. They have used a sphere for this thing, for this corner. I'm probably not going to use a sphere. Side quest, side tangent, but I will go to approximately where the butt is, like this line. I would call the butt. And it's also funny that it is slanted. I don't know why they chose that. It is a choice. So from 0 to the butt is, yeah, I would say 9 centimeters. So in this instance, it's the height. So the Y? No? Yeah. No? Okay, Z. 9. And here, for example, I clicked, I pressed 9, and I pressed enter. So you don't always have to like double click, and so here I will, oh, that's stupid. I didn't put the size, I put the height. So now I'll put the size 9. And since it's millimeters there and centimeters here, it is 90. 90. And so the placement is over here for now. It's not that important. The width, it should be the same as this. Since it is slanted, you cannot be 100% sure. But all of these, except for the ones that goes to the ground, are the same size. It would be stupid, extremely stupid to not use the same. So I could have looked if I could make 3 of these, for example, but I didn't feel like that was needed. Right. Let's see what I can do about this. Maybe I will actually use a sphere. That would be cool, but I don't exactly know how I would do that yet. I will use these measurements. I'm just double checking. It is 2 and 4, 24. The size. What is happening? Was this? No. The height was supposed to be, oh my god, I almost ruined the whole thing. Okay, 90 and 24 and 24. So, and then the angle will be, put you to the side. And here is, ooh, oh my god, okay, I will put the correct approx. We put -90 just to be having a starting point. And the angle here, this sideways, is 45. If it is -45, yeah, like now, it is -45. And that's completely fine. I'm very okay with that. But we need to make it go further through the corner, but you can only drag it through. How do I say that? It is, if I push it this way and I push it this way, and we can see, yeah, there it helped a little bit, and it helped a little bit. Let's see if that is, yeah. I have a hard time explaining exactly what I do right now, but I hope you can sort of be in my mind. Now, before I will change color on this. I will paint it into green. I will give you the color green, and I will sum it up like that. And now, when I put this one back to position 0, push you back to position 0. That's weird. That's interesting. Okay. Yup. It's weird. And now I take you over here. That looks quite reasonable. The only thing now is the angle. No, it's not the only thing, but you know, work in parts. So I mark all of them. I move them upwards, and I want this one to be tilted, and let's say I want it to tilt a little bit downwards. That also means I have to move it more down, like that, to make it yeah. Okay, so is that what I see? I think that is almost exactly what I see. This is not exact science. I'm just looking if I have the same angle, and I would say that is the same angle. I don't have any reason to believe it is. I just feel like it is. But I also feel like it is pushed outwards more than it should be. Like it ends right here. I don't know why. Maybe placement need to be changed someone. And I have options. I have a Dremel, so that means I can cut by myself where I need to cut it if I don't know where to cut it already. Otherwise, I need to make this hollow, and then I will have to make the holes. That's a choice. I could, okay, so I will, for now, I will mark all of them. I will mark them, I will push them aside. I will pick a cylinder. I will make the cylinder hollow, and it will be, I will make the cylinder's hollow shell 2 millimeters, and then I will cut it. And I want to keep another part, and I cut it. So now everything that is inside of it, this is mind-boggling. I'm thinking that if I have a corner, I'll put it to 90, and I will put it to 45. No, okay. I'll put it to minus 45. Girl, what are you doing? Okay, I will put you to 45. Yeah, okay. And I will lift you. Will I? No, I will not. That is... No, okay. This is weird. Word. This is also supposed to be 45. 45? 45. Please. So it is 45 and 45, but I still need to lift you up so you don't lay deep under. Yeah, okay, there we go. So this is supposed to be the corner, depending on the size. So if I think that the width, which was the 3 centimeters, the sizing, then the outer sizing, it would be 30, and that would be 30, and then repositioning because reasons. Ooh, that's interesting. 15, because that's half of 30, and since it's a cylinder, and if you squish the sides, and that means that's the same. And then the height, and this is exactly what's actually supposed to be there. I'm going to make an extra. Excuse me. Hello? Hello? Okay, yeah, no. Girly pops! Okay, if I do that, and I go back here. My guy? Hello? What's happening? What's happening? That. And I want to copy you. What's happening? Nothing. If I don't. Okay. That worked. Why does this not work? What's... This is freaky. This makes me almost a little bit angry. I don't know what the problem is, so I will make one more then, I suppose. 30, 30, and 30, and I make it, I cut it. I could have saved both of the halves before. I decided not to. And I will make it hollow before I cut it, because otherwise it will just be, it will be like an extra layer that isn't hollow. So there we go, and then we cut it, and then I say yes please, and then the angle is supposed to be the angle is supposed to be, is it minus 45? Is that? Oh, girl, I'm sorry. I meant this rotation is 45. Okay. And I put a minus before, minus 45. So that only made it tilt that way, away from me. But then I want it to rotate 45. Is it minus 45? Nope, it was just a regular 45. 45. There we go. That's the angle of the corner. And now we'll see if I can make this again. See? No, apparently it's too hard to copy that. I don't know why it's doing that to me. That's interesting. Yeah. I use different things to do the same thing. I will move it back to 0 and to 0. 0. Very cool, very interesting. This is, if I don't know. I don't know why. Why are they so different? Oops. I don't know what I did. They're very different. Why? And also these are like the width. My brain hurts. Which one is the one I want? This one has a positioning, I don't care, the sizing, -45. This one is 45, 45. If I make this one 0, yeah, and 45, girl, like that, then they are very, very similar, but not exact. 0, 0. If I try 0, okay, 12.5, and the other one has 12.8, 5. You can still see, can you see the difference? I want one of them to be painted a different color, like purple. Purple. Happy about that. Okay, you can see the difference. I think I did something with the sizing afterwards, which means that the width is no longer 2 millimeters in one of them. And I don't remember which one, but I think it's the purple one because it looks much thinner, which probably means I have to delete it like that. And this should be. Let's just try it one more time. Copy, paste. God, I wonder how, I wonder why. And now I needed to copy it because then I know what I have used. So now I push it that way. I can also think that if I size it up, then it is supposed to be on the outside of things. The thing is that I used the extra angles to be sure that I can smooth it out. Now when I want to smooth it out, I want to use like the shell of the sphere to cut away the axis corners. But when I cut them, I'm not sure it's gonna look good. So therefore I make copies. That's why I make copies. So this thing, for example, I will copy. But right now, I don't want to copy. Please, you copied this thing. And I will put you over here. And now you can copy, paste this thing. Thank you. And we go that way. This I will drag over here. Because I can mend and cut. So I think I will cut, then mend. We'll try that. Because now that is the outer shape as well. That's, yeah, okay. And now I can also try this thing with the angle. I want to paint that one. Yup. So I can make sure I can see the difference between where things starts and ends. I want that. And this also needs to get higher. And you need to come closer. And closer. And look at you from the top. From the top, make it drop. And here is yeah. Oops. Why? I want it to go further up, so I put it on 24. That hides it a little bit. 28, 20, 30, 30. And now I can also see where it goes a little wonky. There you can see it's very centered. That's very good. And yeah, that looks reasonable. So okay, I will try this. I need to, it's weird Swedish, but it's slow marking. It means that it sticks to several things at the same time. Copy, paste. Okay, why don't you listen to me? Copy, paste. Girl, why? I want you to listen. Do I have to group you? I don't want to group you. I don't usually have to group you. Copy, paste. Mother trucker. I'm not stupid. Control, copy. Control, paste. Wicked. Yeah, so when I do a thing that is part of a lot of parts, have a lot of parts to it, I usually have like safe points where I think that here something could go very wrong, and therefore I save it for where I could backtrack. And this, for example, is one of those things. Now I will try these two, and I will stop the extra marking, take away all the markings. This one and this one are to be cut, basically. They are reduced. I reduce one with the other. Yep. And when I look closer now, that means that the half circle that I had got reduced from the big cylinder. So now I have this little extra cut thing that I will delete. I don't need that one no more. Or Z, I could use it to reduce other things, because now I know how big the reduced part is supposed to be. So I will put that away. Couldn't put it further away. Put it away! Now that means I also have the little half circle thing left on the board. I don't have to remake it or be scared that I will never have the same measurements again. Or, yeah. Okay, so I made that, and now I will copy, paste. Girl, come on. I'm not kidding. Control, copy, paste. Yep. I will move this thing out of which this one will be positioned at 0 and 0 and put you up a little bit. I don't know where to place you, really. You could be an ocean away. Escape to take a break. On this day. As I know, here uptown, I can go when it gets dark. Take a break. Maybe we can center it better like this. Yup. That happened. Okay. That didn't happen the way I thought it was gonna be. Like that, and like that, and a little bit more. Okay, better work with positioning the way it's supposed to be worked with. So I will start with that, and I'll actually put it to 0. And I will put it to 0. And I will put it to, like, how high was it? It was 7. So I think I will put 7. Oh, yeah, 70. 70. Which is still high. I don't understand. Okay, I will put you floor so I can see better what I've done to other things. This one I want to be positioned at 0. This one I want to be positioned at 0. This I want to position right down. Right down, right down, right down on the floor. And now I know I have to push it forward approximately 3 centimeters, which is 30, and 30. Girl, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. What am I doing? I don't know. This will be an ocean away. And so if I put 31, no, 31, 32, 34, yup, there we go, 34, 34, here we go, and I will always love you, I will always love you. Maybe 35 will do, or 38, and 38, and that is, oops, Control Z. You can see that if you zoom here, you can see that there is an extra, what do you say? Like it's not smooth. There's a hitch, basically. So if I instead put 36, and here as well, I put 36. And look around, there's a little bit of something, there's a little something. You look down here, and if you measure with everything else, this would have to be pushed down, which means I will push this up instead. The height on this thing is this is the Z positioning. I will push that up approximately from 35. I will put it to 'This is, I'm not an engineer. I would know these things if I was an engineer. Right now I'm just doing things willy-nilly. Put 40. See what happens. 40. Yeah, and I can see that's a little bit too much. So also 38. Yeah.
also protrudes quite a lot.
This one protrudes nothing on this side. But maybe this is a good thing, because I will like cup it in. So if I should stay, I would only be in your way. Because I wanted to separate, I think, from the other things. -2 and -2. Oops, was that what I wanted to happen? No. Maybe I should also put it down. 13 is an interesting number. I have only 13. It goes down. I'm going down, 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 down. The whole world won't be around. Baby, 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 all right. Okay, maybe I need to do some more research. But thank you for being here with me. And I might show you the result. That would be a good video. Sorry, not sorry. Bye.